I'm Guzowski.
I'm Berens.
And in today's video for our final in U.S. history, we're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the legend, Thomas Jefferson, the United States' third president. And we're going to be talking about, was Thomas Jefferson a successful president during his 2 terms in office? But before we start this, we're going to talk about some of his personal accomplishments, such as his personal library. Started the Library of Congress, which is one of the largest libraries in the world. His personal estate, Monticello, which means small mountain in Italian, which is in Italy. It's on a mountain. He founded the University of Virginia, which is still a university today. He co-wrote the Declaration of Independence. One of the founding fathers of the United States of America. Was the governor of Virginia and first Secretary of State.
In 1801, Thomas Jefferson became president of the United States. He was the third one. During his presidency, he had many major accomplishments. The first major one was the Louisiana Purchase. He first initially talked to Napoleon Bonaparte from France about purchasing New Orleans, but Napoleon eventually said you can have the rest of the territory because Napoleon needed money for his major military campaigns in Europe. When Jefferson bought the Louisiana territory and Louisiana Purchase, he gained trade access of the Mississippi River, and he blocked off any possible enemy possibility of choking off the commerce to the western slopes.
A year after the Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson hired Lewis and Clark to explore the new territory of Louisiana. He sent them on a mission to find, hopefully, a Northwest Passage. They did not find the Northwest Passage they were looking for, but they were able to make it to the Pacific Ocean. On doing so, they found thousands of new types of animals and plants, and they proved that land travel to the Pacific was possible. This was beneficial to Thomas Jefferson's career as president because it proved that the Louisiana territory was a successful purchase. One of the things Thomas Jefferson did while in office was get rid of the whiskey tax. The whiskey tax was a tax created by President George Washington to create revenue for the United States of America. And what this did, it put a tax on all forms of alcohol. This made the farmers mad in the South and in the West because one of their main crops was grain, and so their grain would not sell as well if it was not being used for whiskey and other types of booze.
Because of this, farmers started an attack on federal officials trying to seek for their money for their grain. So when Thomas Jefferson became president and abolished the whiskey tax, they essentially just got rid of the attacks that were going on against federal officials from farmers because the farmers were no longer losing their money to the grain. The second thing was the Alien and Sedition Acts. These were created by Adams. They were created and they were it made it hard for Americans or people to become American if they weren't Americans already. So when Jefferson abolished this, it made it much more easier for people who were not Americans to become Americans.
One of the things Thomas Jefferson did was pass the act of prohibiting the importation of slavery. In his mind, this would have ended slavery, but by not allowing more slaves to enter the United States of America. But in reality, this made slavery more profitable and widespread in the United States. Today's critics of Thomas Jefferson say that he was a hypocrite because of his political beliefs did not match up to what he did because he was a slave owner himself. Also, his critics of him today say that he was a racist due to...
In document 43, Jefferson talks about race and slavery, and he talks about how blacks are smarter than the average American or average white American because they are dumber. So they're braver because they are less smart, because they're dumber. And they also say that if the slave race was freed, then they would have a racial or a race war, and essentially one of the races would be ended.
One.
In conclusion, Thomas Jefferson was a good president of the United States because of he helped co-write the Declaration of Independence. He had the Louisiana Purchase under his belt. He had Lewis and Clark explore the Louisiana Territory. He abolished the Whiskey Act. He abolished the Alien and Statistic Act, and he abolished slave trade to the United States. Even though President Thomas Jefferson has some critics saying that he's a racist and
Hypocrite.
hypocrite, he is still one of the greatest presidents of the United States of America.